All right, hello everyone. These are just some additional problems for lesson 7.3 that I thought would be helpful for you all to use to go along with Ms. D's video. So watch her video first, but I wanted to show you a few other types of problems that you are going to have. The first type of problem is going to have, you want to find the least common denominator for three fractions. So we're going to find the least common denominator for 1/6, 1/15, and 21/60. So really, because we're wanting the least common denominator, the only thing we're really needed to focus on is the denominators. And you want to find the least common multiple of those three numbers. So the way to do that is I just like to, list all three of them out like that. Well, 6, and you can do your factor trees. 6 is 2 times 3, pretty basic. 15, that's 3 times 5. And line up your like numbers. And then 60 is going to be, you can do 2 and 30, 3 and 10, and 2 and 5. So, and then I guess I could have done that 2 and 15, and then 3 and 5. So always try to put them in order from least to greatest. So you'll have 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to see what they have in common, and you're going to match up anything that they have in common. So let's look at our 2's. I've got 2 2's. It doesn't have to be common to all three. As long as you can make a pair, that's okay. So I wanted to show you one like this with 3 of them, that even, it doesn't have to be in all 3 of them. Those 2 still match up. And then I can also include all 3 of my 3's, and I can include those 2 5's. And then remember, just to also circle whatever you have left over. In this case, I have a 2 left over. So to find my least common denominator, I'm going to just take each circle and count it as one number. So that counts as a 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. And so I will get 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 is 60. So my least common denominator is 60. All right, now let's do one with some variables. So on this one, I've got 21r to the third and 12r to the fifth. So 21r to the third, that's going to factor out, a little crooked right here, I think, to 21 is 3 times 7. And then I've got 3 r's, and I'm going to just go ahead and write out those 3 r's. And then 12, that's 2 times 6, and then 2 times 3. So 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. I'm going to try to do it like that so I can line up my 3's. You don't have to, but then if not, you're going to have some crooked circles there. And then I've got 5 r's. So I've got r times r times r times r times r. Okay, so now you just match up what you can. So I can match up my 3's, and I can match up 3 of these r's. And then I just circle everything that's left over. So when I find my least common denominator, I'm going to just count each circle once. So I've got a 2, 2, 3, and 7, and then I've got 5 r's, and I'm just going to go ahead and put r to the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do r times r times r times r times r, but then obviously we're going to simplify it. And then when you do 2 times 2 times 3 times 7, you're going to get 84. So your answer is going to be 84 r to the fifth power as your least common denominator. All right, so this last one here for this page is you're going to find the least common denominator for 7 over 5b minus 10 and 11 over 6b minus 12. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do, and this should look familiar to you, what do we always need to do with those binomials down there? Well, you always want to factor them because, again, you're wanting to see what the factors are. You're going to want to see if there's anything you can cancel out that they have in common. So and again, I'm just going to focus on my denominators. So for 5b minus 10, I can factor out a 5. And I'm going to get b minus 2. And then here, so I'm going to have 7 over that. And then here, I can factor out a 6. So I can factor out a 6. And look at that. I'm going to have b minus 2 again. All right. So, and again, really, I put my numerators up there, but we're just wanting to find the least common denominator. If I were to add these, what would be my common denominator? So let's do like before. Let's do a factor tree, okay? So to factor this, I have 5, that's prime, and a b minus 2. And then for this one, I have 6 times b minus 2. Well, what do they have in common? Is there anything I can circle that they have in common? Yes, they have a common factor of b minus 2. And then I can't match those up. But remember, you circle whatever is left over. So I'm going to multiply 5 times 6 times b minus 2. Well, 5 times 6 is 30 times b minus 2. And that's going to be my least common denominator. So just wanted to show you one of those that had a binomial in it because those were, I know it looked kind of tricky, but just factor them out like you know how to do, and then count this b minus 2 as a factor and count those as the numbers outside as factors, and then circle what you have in common and do just like you do the normal factor trees. All right, I think that's all for 7.3 that I thought would help you. Let me know if you have any questions.